Coordinator Norman.
Yes, sir. We'll go ahead and get started with Coach Clark. Coach, just a few thoughts on the game. Then we'll take a few questions.
You know, obviously that first drive was not the way we wanted to start defensively. You know, and I think you work tempo and sometimes it still gets you a little bit. We didn't get a line properly on that first drive, but really after that defensively we just played very well, very sound, tackled well against a historically really good offense. Could not be prouder of them. And then just offensively we were so proud to just be able to pound the ball. You know, and I think we want to be able to do whatever's there, and we thought maybe some throw game was there, but you know our run game was so good and was so successful that we stayed with it, and you know just 8 o'clock, and of course we were tempoing at the same time. But I was super proud of the offense, just how they controlled the line of scrimmage, and then special teams was really good. You know, Tylon had a great day. Hunter, the few chances he had, kicked the ball extremely well. I thought our coverage was excellent, very sound. Just a very, very good effort overall. Great team win.
Questions for Coach?
Coach, talk about your offensive line. They obviously seem to come out really strongly today.
Well, you know, that's a group that was kind of maligned, you know, after spring. And, you know, I know Coach Benefield, Coach Schwartz, all those guys, Coach Owens with the tight ends. You know, we had 8 guys finish spring. So the guys we had that returned really had to work their butts off. But you know, I think the biggest thing we did, we brought in some depth, but wow, that group does not do a great job. And I think we mixed the play calling up. Obviously, you got to also thank those 2 running backs what job they did. And our quarterback ran the ball, but I think it starts with the O-line and the tight ends who, you know, kind of quasi O-linemen. But boy, phenomenal job today.
You had back-to-back turnovers at the start of the third. I know you can't be happy about that. What did you say to the team to sum it up?
Well, you know, we do a turnover circuit or a non-turnover circuit every day. I mean, we do 6 stations every day, just like we tackle every day. And so, you know, that's one of those things when we go with JJ. I mean, maybe we go and get a chance to put the thing away at the start of the third quarter. And that's the thing you've always got to think about is that ball. You know, somebody coming from behind you. But the pass at the end, you know, just a bad pass. I mean, Cody, you know, looked like it slipped out of his hands, kind of. I mean, but give them credit, they made a good play. But you know, the biggest thing for us was we went back to controlling the football and not create turnovers. That's such a big deal for us. I mean, we are so obsessed with not turning it over that it really bugged us when it happens. But you know, we answered back and protected it other than that.
Coach, knowing the state of this program for the past couple of seasons, what do you think that this first game said about you, kind of as a statement of what you're going to bring here?
You know, I think it says who we are. You know, I just think, you know, one game is one game, but it was a big game. You know, it was a big game. It was the first game. It was a rival game. These kids, you know, I think sometimes people hear some things from coaches and maybe they think it's just a bunch of talk. But I mean, really, as good a group as I've ever been to believe and buy into what's being taught. So from strength, nutrition, rest. I mean, we probably had 3 or 4 of the best practices I've ever been a part of just from the focus. And boy, that's all we talked about really with our staff last night and this morning. You want this group to do good because they're so focused and it's so important to them. So I hope it's a statement to where we're headed and it creates some excitement and energy, and I think that's important. These guys have earned it. You know, I think we had almost every player we had stayed voluntarily the whole month of May and worked. I mean, June and July workouts were phenomenal. I don't know. I just one of those things where I don't know, you know, how this group wouldn't be successful because they've worked so hard. But you know, football is a crazy game that they have really worked hard for us.
One thing that really jumped out compared this year to last year was just the demeanor on the sidelines, picking up big plays, and it seemed like everybody was having fun out there. Is that something that you think was just an attribute to winning, or is it actually a change?
Obviously we are. I mean, we talk about, you know, we're going to play hard and we're going to play tough and smart, but we're going to have enthusiasm. And we practice that every day. I mean, you know, we come out of a first quarter, we come out of a second quarter, we come out of halftime. The fourth quarter was not some made-up thing that we just do on game day. We do it every single day. We come together at the end of practice when they've been out there 2+ hours and 100-degree heat, and we get ready for the fourth quarter. So those are things that I think we get because we work at them and we practice them, not to be arrogant, but I think those guys have worked toward that, and I think that's what you saw today.
Early in the first quarter, they were on a drive, and you had 2 consecutive sacks.
Right.
Lost 12 yards in those 2 sacks. How did the team respond after that kind of success?
That is what it's all about. I think that's the whole nature of what we're trying to get defensively. That they're going to make a play. We're not going to panic. We're not going to change everything we do and start finger pointing. Now, there's some guys had to go get lined up, and that's my fault. We were probably trying to do a few too many things, and we had some really good calls, but if you don't get them called and get lined up, they're not very good. So I take blame for that first drive, and then they drove it. We had forget how exactly they got the ball down there. I think they made some plays, but we said all the time defensively, till they're in, they're not in, and that's the thing about not panicking and somebody making a play. And we had some D linemen make some really good plays.
Talk about how important it is to get off to a good start like this, to set up for the rest of the season, especially the next game, because it's always just the next game.
It is, and that's the hardest thing about the job we're in, and for all of us, it's just short-lived. We were already thinking about Mississippi State as soon as this is over, but I mean, I think that's the fun and that's the tough part of what we do. It's you go enjoy it, and that one's there forever, and that's what I tell them. That one's in the record books. That film is there. You got it, and now we got to look ahead, and that's like a play. That play's over, we move to the next one. So hopefully we're ready to do that. We're going to enjoy this for a little while though, but then we're back to work.
Coach, how impressed were you with how Jordan came out today?
As we've seen it all summer, you've talked about it, that we were just trying to protect him and get him to the game. And we've got a bunch of good running backs, but we've got two phenomenal ones. And I tell you what's so fun about them, and Coach Wright does a great job with them, but they're just great kids. They really are. They know the protection. They got a smile on their face every day. They come to work. And I've been around some really good running backs that didn't always have the best attitude. And to have two guys that are humble and work and good running backs just in of itself is great.
When Ty hit that field goal, he certainly got pretty animated. Can you just take us through that moment?
Yeah, we practice. We do field goals, start practice every day. Y'all are there a lot of times when we're doing it. We don't just put lip service to it. We put him in those situations. We work it, and I think that's when we all get upset, is when we do work something and you don't have success. And to have him have success, it's really important to us. He is a great talent, but you got to do it on game day. And for him to come through like that, and that's that whole operation. Dallas snapping it, Hunter holding it, and the protection. We work it all the time, and then to see it come to fruition is great.
Did you feel pressure, maybe a little more pressure than you thought coming into today, to make that good first impression?
I think we all did. I don't care where I've been, what games we've won, or there's always somebody questioning what you're going to do and where you're headed, and that's this game we're in, and that's what makes it tough and makes it fun at the same time. But this one was for these guys and for this staff. And, I think they've earned it. How hard they've worked, and you just hoped it showed up on game day.
We'll take one more.
Coach, you talked about this being, of course, for them, but this is, 11 in a row for you in season openers? What's your secret?
Just work. I really think the way we train in our off season and getting guys to believe, that's a staff thing. That's our whole group effort. And then you gotta have the kids that'll do it. But we've been, I guess, lucky for a while. But they have worked. And I think that's what gives us a chance.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Lots of players in here shortly.
Appreciate y'all.